Hiya. Right, this is Sunday, and I've come back. I was up here yesterday, and my bees, I felt, were gonna start to swarm in the top bar because I found the bees had started to build and construct a queen cell. There was an empty cup with raw jelly and eggs in it. I broke all the practice cups down, and I left the queen cell there, but I've come up here today and they've literally, from this end to this end, it's just full up with little cups with little eggs and royal jelly in, so they're just going to go. So what I've done, I've come up here today, what I've done is I've captured the queen's in here, caught her, so she's in there, and she's staying there for the moment. So I've moved all the hive up here. I put a dividing board here. Hopefully I've sealed it correctly, and I've put one frame. I've left one frame of stores in there. There's a couple of capped brood in there, but there's no practice cups or anything. And what these are known as top bars. These are just bits of wood. And what I do is you drop it in there, and it just that little piece of wood on the bottom gives them something to kind of build, hang their comb off to eventually get the full honeycomb. So if you imagined the queen's in there, I'm going to drop the queen in this bit. Say for instance she was going to swarm, she's flown out, she's taken all the flying bees with her, and then she's found somewhere like, you know, an empty tree or another empty hive or something, and then she land in there and it'd be totally empty. So this is why this is empty. So that's that. So there's plenty of, oh, hang on, bugger, there we go. So it's hard to separate the bees. With these nationals, it's a lot easier to work with when you're trying to separate and obviously do a full swarm. So I haven't done this before. So what happens normally, there's all the bees are in here, there's loads, this just full up with bees. All the flying bees, well, I've unblocked the entrance, see, all the bees are coming out, they're all freaking out. So these bees here will, if you can see, if the sun's not in the way, so they're looking for the queen, they know the queen's gone. So these bees will fly out, they'll fly out, and then they'll orientate themselves, and when they come back they'll fly into here. So these bees here, sorry, there's the flying bees that come out of here will come out, they'll go and forage, and they'll come back to here because this is where they'll obviously normally go. The bees that their duty is just to clean, look after the hive, look after all the brood, the worker bees, they will stay in here because their duties aren't to fly yet. So they will just carry on looking after all the colony. Because the queen's not there, the pheromone would drop, and they're making queen cells anyway, so they'll just carry on making the queen cells and look after queen cells, and they'll become queenless. One of the hives over there, I left a load of drone on there yesterday because when this queen does eventually hatch, a couple of weeks after, when she's built up enough strength and she's grown in size, she'll fly out there, and I'll need drones to mate with her, so there's no point me just killing off all the drones. Right, so this queen here I'm going to put down into this side of the hive. There's hardly any bees in here, so I'll try and do it one-handed. Come on, little girl. There she is. She's just dropped down inside. I don't want to leave it open to her because she'll jump out, she'll fly up. So what I'm hoping, the queen's just gone in there, and there's an empty hive, there's nothing in there apart from this one frame here. So I'm going to leave them to settle down. Hopefully I've sealed this up enough, because what they do is they chew their way through. So I'm hoping this is sealed up enough. This will realise that it's queenless. So there's a few casualties. This will realise that it's queenless, and we'll just carry on and build the hive. There's a lot of frames here. I'd rather have less, but this is all empty now, so that I've literally a queen in an empty hive. So all the flying bees will have to start building the hive up. They've gone in. There are some nurse bees in here because they need to look after the queen and feed the queen. There's some stores and honey in here so they can start drawing out wax and also obviously feed the queen. So let's see what happens. Hopefully this lot will sort themselves out. So let's see what happens. Okay, I'm going to shut this down now.